Hey guys, so Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Void Build-A-Figure Wave Crystar. That is right. If you're wondering who in the Sam heck is Crystar, you're probably not alone. He's one of those oddball 80s characters that, yes, happens to be owned by Marvel Comics. So, you know, instead of doing, we'll say, different and interesting stuff like good old Crystar here, the fine folks over at Hasbro, who brought us this figure, have chose to prioritize MCU hot garbage. Yeah, pretty stupid, if you ask me. So my question to them is, when are we going to get Rom the Space Knight? And, you know, while we're on the topic of wish lists, how about that Danny Ketch Ghost Rider with bike while you're at it, huh? That said, good old Crystar here is very interesting, to say the very least. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, though, let's cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review. Let's see at his accessories. Comes with a pair of Kung Fu grips, 2 of them, with the right hinge in them, mind you. So they move up and down, which is nice. And then he comes with his sword. This is clear plastic with, does it even have paint on the hilt? I can't tell. And his shield, which I will say is a little tricky for him to hold. But that's your lot. He of course comes with some Void Build-A-Figure parts, which kind of remind me of the Symbiote Hybrid, so I'm hoping we get to figure that dude soon. But taking a closer look at Crystar here, I gotta tell you, for starters, he kind of reminds me of the Avatar McDonald's toys from the first movie, specifically the one that had the bare legs. He was more tribal looking, but there you go. That said, Crystar had a toy line in the 80s. A lot of those figures probably go for mucho dinero, and quite honestly aren't worth it because most likely they fall apart. But I will tell you, this thing kind of falls more in line with like Masters of the Universe collectors, I think. Based off, you know, the aesthetic. It's very 80s sci-fi fantasy looking. That said, as far as articulation goes, he's got a disc hinge in the head. His head can also look around. It's got a little bit of play on that ball there as well. I will tell you, it would have been nice to get an alt head without the helmet. You can't take this helmet off. If you do, it'll look weird. Shoulders go out that far, go back down, they rotate all the way around. Unlike Spiral, his bicep cuts aren't gummy and feel like they're going to break, even though they are clear plastic. He does have double elbow, but it's pretty hindered due to the sculpt of the glove there. That said, he does have hinge swivel wrists with the regular, you know, in and out hinges on those. Ab crunch can click forward or back once, and then forward. I would advise tucking this thing in to that to crunch it forward, because if not, you could end up popping the thing out. It does feel like a separate glued-on piece, but yeah, I wouldn't advise going too crazy with that. You could pop this piece off. I don't know why I didn't just take some creative liberties, make the thing a little smaller, you know? That seems kind of stupid. But you can tuck it into the ab crunch, so you can get it to crunch forward once and not have to worry about that. Does a nice job of holding it down. So that's most likely what I will do. That said, he does have a waist twist. Again, you got to watch out for that belt, but it does work. His hips kick out. There. He can kick out. Almost perfect splits. Back down. Forward. Back. He's got a thigh cut. Double knee. And he's got a hinge in the foot, which is kind of loose on both sides, not gonna lie. I don't know if this boot is a separate glued on piece or what, but that could have been tighter. And then he's got a rocker I will say his feet are a little curved on the bottom, so he's tricky to stand, but should get him standing, it's alright. Can we please get an Iceman out of this figure? The anatomy's not horrible on it. He's very chiseled, though. I think this would have been a better buck for an AOA Iceman, being honest with you, but cool figure, man. I dig it. It's freaking Crystar. I mean, if you like Crystar, you're gonna like this figure. That said, I'm just kind of indifferent towards it. I just thought, oh, hey, that's kind of neat. I know what Crystar is. He had an old toy line. Personally, I'd like to have a Brave Star or a Black Star or a, Thundar the Barbarian or something, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? So, with that being said, let's move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old Crystar alongside a couple other 80s icons. Lion-O of the Thundercats from Super 7 and He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. This is the 40th anniversary He-Man from the Masterverse line, brought to us by the fine folks over at, say it with me now, Mattel. Been a while since I've done that, but maybe someday bring it back. Gotta have some motif figures for that though, right? That said, he is utilizing the classic He-Man head from the 87 movie He-Man, because I thought it was a decent He-Man head, and it looks good on this figure. That said, you could see that, yeah, Crystar's a little small compared to these two, but I think it works. I think Crystar is more than likely going to go with my Master of the Universe stuff, to be honest with you, because it just fits better there. That said, getting these two out of the way. And yes, my poor Lion-O is still an amputee. I have not found his hand yet. One day I will rectify that, but it's either rectify that or get videos done. And I'm going to get videos done. Of course, would not be one of my videos, speaking of which, without the Mythic Legion's brother Mandibulith and the infamous K11 Spawn. Is Crystar like way off to the side here? That's annoying. Stupid, center yourself. What the heck's the matter with you? There we go. That's a little better. But the infamous K11 Spawn, as I was saying, and of course, good old Al Simmons towers overall. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from a couple loosey-goosey joints here and there, and the fact that the Four Horsemen would have made a much better figure of Crystar, I mean, that goes without saying, right? This is a massive step up and or an upgrade compared to that piece of crap Spiral I took a look at yesterday. I mean, seriously. I don't get the hype. If you like it, fine, but I have to say that is probably the most overhyped figure I've seen in a long time. And I've seen my fair share of overhyped figures. I don't think Crystar here falls into that category, however, because A, you either like him or you don't, and B, not everyone knows who he is. I myself am familiar with the character because of the people I choose to hang out with on a regular basis. But other than that, I have no connection to this guy. I just think it looks cool. It's something different, something kind of refreshing, and something a little new to people who are unfamiliar with it. So I'm all for it, and I'm gonna campaign for a Run the Space Knight at some point. Whether it's a bath or something else, I don't care. Give me that. That'd be sweet. He's got a cool design. I'd love to have it in figure form. At least figure like this. And also, you know, Brave Star, Black Star, and the like. I don't think those are Marvel characters, though, so I'm kind of SOL with that. And don't even think about suggesting the SH Figuarts knockoff on 5K Toys. I'm not into that. It's over-articulated and not in scale with most of the stuff I have. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.